Well, welcome, folks, to Johnny Loves Tech, and I'm your host, John, and I am so excited that you guys are here again go on this journey with me. All right, so today we're gonna spend some time talking about DeepSeek, and we're going to leverage DeepSeek. So for those who don't know, DeepSeek is another LLM which was created by the Chinese, and it raised a big stir a couple of weeks ago. I allowed the time to kind of die down, and I just want to play with DeepSeek with you and kind of show you some cool things that you could do. So what we're going to do with DeepSeek is we're going to build an app, and I'm going to share my screen, and we're going to share the screen. I'm going to, this is screen 2. And as you can see my screen. So this is DeepSeek. So basically, you can just Google DeepSeek, or, well, if you were to just Google DeepSeek, just say DeepSeek. It will take you to the website here. You could, kind of see. So there's V3 capabilities right now. Currently, I believe I'm using V1. If I go to the chat, I'm using R1, which is the version. So there's different flavors of it. But again, you can get the DeepSeek app. You can start. Pretty cool. Cause a big stir. Here's some of the research. So here are the different versions of the LLMs they have. And so, feel free to spend some time going through that. But what we're going to do is we're going to go to chat and we're going to build an app. And I'm going to build a simple app without me writing a line of code. And we are going to ask DeepSeek to create this app for us. So I'm going to write a prompt, and I want you guys to pay close attention to how I write the prompt. So how I teach folks how to write prompts is you want to use your action word first. And there's people who have different methods, but for me, I feel that writing your action word first, so whether it's write, document, whatever, um, for me, I like using my action word first. So we're gonna say create an app, create a mobile app using the Swift using Apple's Swift coding language. The app is a square with 8 bouncing balls of different colors. Make sure that physics is included when the balls hit each other. They should bounce off. Make sure that physics is included when the balls hit each other. Add a meter, add a bar to increase the speed of the balls bouncing within the square. Okay, so let's kind of break down our prompt here. So my action word is create. So create a mobile app using Apple Swift coding language. And the one thing about when you write prompts, you don't have to be 100% grammatically correct. But for me, I don't want my former English teachers to be shocked if she ever watches the video of me. But the app is a square with 8 bouncing balls of different colors. Make sure that physics is included when the balls hit each other. Add a bar to increase the speed of the balls bouncing within the square. Okay, so that's my prompt. This is all the information I'm giving to Deepseek to write the code using Apple's Swift language. Once it's done, we're going to copy the code, drop it into Swift, and see if the app works. And if it doesn't work, we're going to ask DeepSeek some questions to fix itself. And let's see, without me adding any code, if it can fix it. All right, so here we go. So we're going to run it. Now, I am going to admit that my prompt is not, there's more stuff I could have added to the prompt, but I just wanted to see with just these 3 lines of my prompt if I can get close to being complete. All right. Now, for those who don't know, I know how to code. I don't code as much as I used to now, but Swift is one of the programming languages that I love. And, I am a big Apple fan. And so that's the reason why I chose it. You could have chose JavaScript. You could have chose anything. I could have chose anything else. But I wanted to go with Swift to see what it could do. Um, I have to say that I'm very impressed with DeepSeek, even though, I'm a big fan of OpenAI and what OpenAI has been doing. I also do like Google Gemini, and I like what Claude, what Amazon is doing with Claude, basically Anthropic, or which is owned by Amazon, is doing with Claude. So I am a big, sponge when it comes to this, to all this coding. So as it's thinking, it's taking a minute, to think. Once it's done producing, let's see if it works. So right now, it's going through its reasoning, writing down everything. It's gonna add its physics. And if we were to go back to the prompt again, see, create a mobile app using Apple's Swift coding language. I could have added some other things about like use proper coding principles and things like that, but I just want to see how well this model can do. Okay. Now, my favorite model to use for coding uh is Claude. So I'm doing this video here with DeepSeek. I may do another video with OpenAI's O3. I apologize, folks, because I don't try to be the first person, once one of these models drops, oh my God, flooding your timeline with all the news about it. I just take some time, spend some time, going through my own what I call rubric of tests with a new model before I start, bombarding you with videos about, the models. And, don't get me wrong, I love the folks who are first. One of my favorites is Matthew Berman. He's a AI expert, has a lot of great content. He is one of the YouTubers that I follow that I love his content. And, I'm not any of them. I'm more mellow, laid back. I like to have some time pass um, before I share my content. But here we go. And, it's taking some time. But if you were but if you were coding this yourself, it would take more time. So it should be wrapping it up here. And to kind of let you know what kind of computer I'm using, I am using an M3 MacBook Pro with 18 gigs of RAM. And so here we go. So here's the code. We're going to copy this code. I'm going to wait for it to be done. I can already tell that I'm going to get an error. And this is because I'm experienced. Now I know you who are watching are like, well, how do you know it's going to be an error? I know there's going to be an error um, off the rip just from the first couple of lines. But that's because I have the knowledge. Now, for you who don't have knowledge, you're not going to know that. But what I'm showing you here is Now you have the power to create an app. You just have to know how to write it. Okay. And if you want to learn some tips on how to write it, feel free to send me an email at johnnylovestech@gmail.com. My email will be in the description of this video. So if you want to set up some time to do uh, if you want to do a, Zoom session or a Google Meet session, and need help in crafting prompts to create an app for yourself, and you're someone who doesn't know how to code, definitely set up a consultation with me. I will drop the links to my Calendly. I will drop a link to my email. You can email me. I'll send you a link to my Calendly for you to set up some time where we can do a hour consultation. And now I'm gonna be upfront. My consultations aren't free, but they also won't break the bank. But for what I can, for an hour consultation, the ways I can help you in crafting something that is that's great that you can take to someone else to finish up for you, um, is going to be great. Okay, so here we are. We are done. Code has been written. Now I already told you that I think there are going to be some errors in this already, but we're going to see. Now, I am going to create a new project. So here we are using Apple's Xcode. I'm going to create a new project. We're going to just do a multi-platform. We're going to call it, we're just going to select app. I'm going to do next, and we're going to call this app um, Bouncing Balls app. And my organization name is Exhumed at Bouncing Balls app. Storage, you can leave this stuff blank. You know, you can do Swift data coordinator, but I'm gonna just leave it at none. Gonna hit next. We're gonna drop it in our documents. I don't want to get repository for this. And we're gonna do create, and here it is, blank. Now what we're gonna do is I am going to just copy this code, and we are in the content view of our app. That's where you drop your code. And I'm going to clear all this, and I'm going to paste this. And as you can see, no such module UI kit is the first error. So I'm going to run it anyway, and we know it's going to fail. And the error says no such module UI kit. So now, Deepseek created some code, and it says no such module UI kit. UI kit is one of the views that Swift uses. So what we're going to do is we're going to tell it, I received an error that says no such module UI kit. Can you fix this issue for me? And we're going to hit continue, and it's going to do its search. As you can see, DeepSeek is thinking. It tells you first UIKit is a standard iOS framework, so it should be included automatically. So here's what it's going to do. It's going to go through, do its thing. It has done its thing, and it's writing more code. And what we're going to do is we're going to go here. We're going to delete this code. only available in iOS projects. By following these steps, okay. So, um, my apologies. This is a multi-platform project. Can you rewrite to make sure that we cover all bases? Okay. So now I wrote that because if you notice in the beginning of this video, I selected multi-platform. I didn't select mobile, whereas UI kit is something you find mainly for mobile for iOS apps and not Mac OS apps. That's part of the reason why I got the error. But now it's going to go in. It's going to rewrite it as a multi-platform app, and we're going to copy and paste the code. Again, now, if it was going to be for an iPad or a iPhone, in the beginning when I selected the options, I should have selected iOS in the beginning when I was setting up the project, and then it would have worked then. So now we have our code written. So a couple of things I want you to notice. You notice that in the beginning, it took the longest amount of time to auto-generate the code. But once it knows what the code is, making your corrections, it processes the information faster. So we're going to copy that. We're going to drop this here. We're going to do this. And we are we're going to, hold on. So I want you guys to see the code. And as you can see, on change perform was deprecated in Mac 14, use on change with two. So what we're going to do is, I'm going to, so I know if I run this, it's going to fail. And expected in expression list. Oh, to match the opening. So it's missing one of these. But guess what? I don't know how to code. So I'm going to ask it to fix it because, hey, I don't know how to code. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh my, what do I do? I don't understand any of this. So we're going to ask Deepseek some questions. Two errors. And what we're going to do is, let's just move this over the side. It says we have two errors. Expected and expression list and a warning for on change of perform was deprecated in Mac OS 14.0. Okay, we have it think, and it's going to go through and try to fix those issues. And let's see what we got. So it's gonna do its thing. And I hope you guys are enjoying this experience with me. I hope the mellow music down below is soothing as we go through here and as it does its thing. So as you can see, it is going through. It is, oh, so it notices that's where the missing parentheses is. It realizes where it's missing the parentheses. While it's doing that, I'm going to go ahead and delete all this code. And I'm gonna wait for it to finish. And I think on this chance it might work. Let's see. Okay. Okay, the version should now compile without syntax errors. Okay, okay, boom. So it's saying that it should not have any errors. So let's see, my friends. Hmm, that look clean. Oh, it failed. And so it says, main attribute can only apply to one type in module. So we go back here and we're gonna say we received another error which says main attribute can only apply to one type in a module. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys. There are some things I could have done in the beginning that would have made this process a lot easier. But I like to go through the hard stuff, and I want you to watch because I want you to learn from this experience. So we're gonna let it do its thing because again, I don't know how to code, all right? So I want you guys to understand I am acting as if I do not know how to code. It produced 106 lines of code for this app that we're trying to build. I'm gonna delete all this code and there might be one more error after that, j just for my quick uh look. But we're gonna see. So Deepseek thinks it got everything right this time, and that's okay. And let's run again. And so, okay, so we received another error where main attribute can only apply to one type in a module. Can you please fix and make sure the code can compile and give us the intended result? And here we go. And this is okay. This is part of the process. This also makes the video longer. But hey, I want you guys to understand that even though we have AI assistants to code, and here's someone who knows how to code, right? That it still takes time. Now, it's not going to take as much time as if I was writing all that code by myself, because that 106 lines of code that it produced in like, 3, 4 minutes would have taken me a couple hours to produce. Okay. Could have taken me a couple of days. Okay. So it's important that when we look at what AI does, the key thing that AI does for us is that it saves time. The time it would take us to do these massive tasks that we have to do are shrunk down using AI. And the thing is that what we all have to understand is we have to have checks and balances, all right? And so it's important that we have checks and balances and make sure that the intended result that's produced is the result that we want. So I'm going to copy this again. I'm going to go here. We're going to drop the code. I'm going to run it. And we still get the main attribute only apply. Okay, so I am going to, so let's just see what it said. The main attribute is still causing an error. Can you fix it? Oh, the main attribute can only apply to one type of a module error. I've tried helping them before, but the issue persists. Let me think through this again. Designate the entry point or the application. There's more than okay. And now it's done some stuff. So the one thing about Deepseek that I do like is that it's like really thinking. So before, remember, it had 106 lines of code. Now it produced 127 lines of code. We're gonna delete all that. Okay. And I probably should. Now, what I probably should do is follow these steps because I did not follow these steps. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to follow these steps here. So I'm going to go File, New, New Project. We got Multi-Platform, App. We're going to hit Next. We're going to Bouncing Balls Apps, hit Next. We're going to just create. Yep, let's move it to the trash. We're going to create. What we're going to do is create a new Swift file. All right, so I'm going to do file, new, empty file. So we're going to call it main app.swift. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we're going to paste all this code. We're going to follow its instructions. And we're going to run. And as you can see, we got more errors. More errors. Oh my goodness. We got more errors. Okay. So here we are. We got a build expression is unavailable. Cannot find UI view representable. Cannot find context and scope. Cannot find context and scope. Okay. So at this point, you'd want to kill yourself at this point. But I say, hold on. We have produced a bunch of errors. Here they are below. We hold a shift and enter. We're gonna do build expression is unavailable. Cannot find type UI view representable in scope. Cannot find context in scope. Here's twice. And then hit enter. And now it's going to go through. It's going to analyze what I put there. Okay, the user's having some errors with the Swift code. Let's see what they mentioned. First error with expression. And it's going to just ask it. Yep. So notice UI view representable, which is an iOS specific. So now it's going to go through. It's going to fix these things. While it's doing that, I am going to go through here. I am going to delete all this code. And we are going to see what it does. All right, so let's see. I know Deepseek is like, bro, I'm getting tired. This video's too long. I'm not gonna give it a thumbs up until I know we have code that can compile. And let's run that mug. And I'm going to say we received more errors. Here they are below. Main you can only apply to one type. Invalid re Oh, okay. Okay. So here's what we're gonna do. I am going to we're going to delete this. Yep. Move content view to the trash. Bouncing balls app. We're gonna move that to the trash. We're only gonna have main.app. Let me run it again. That was the issue. Okay, it's about to run the app. So the thing was I didn't delete the other apps. So here we got the bouncing balls, as you can see. And if I so remember we did the bar. So the errors were related to I had two other files that I should have deleted. So that was me not following instructions that Deepseek gave me. So replace all code. It says remove. Well, I think before it had said to delete all existing files. I didn't do that. So I had two files, Bouncing Balls app file and the content view file, and so I had to delete those. Okay, so we still have an error because when I move this, they should be moving faster and they're not. So the app compiles. So what we're gonna do um is working correct. Our app is working. The only issue is when you slide the bar, the balls don't speed up. Can we correct this? So, as you can see, the balls, the ball stopped for some reason. But the idea is when I move this bar, it should go faster and slower. So while it's recompiling and writing up the code, so this whole time, the error was user error, but we figured that out, so that's good. What we're going to do here is we're having it generate some new code because our app, we want the balls to keep bouncing, so it's going to fix that. So I'm going to stop it. F open failed. Okay, so that was an error. I'm going to go in here. We're going to delete all that. And wait for it to generate the code. So the goal is, and there it goes. It's gonna generate the code. And I'm so proud. I really am. Okay. So I'm gonna give it, even before I copy the code, I'm gonna give it a thumbs up. And I'm going to copy this. And I'm going to paste it. And I'm going to run it. We got success. And oh, it's slowing it down. Okay. Let's see what happens when the balls hit each other. Hmm. The value goes up. The speed of the balls should increase. When the slider goes down, the speed of the balls should decrease. Add a stop button to stop the balls from bouncing. Add a start button to make the balls bounce again. Place these two buttons above the speed bar. All right. So now we're having some more fun. We're adding some new elements to our app, and it's gonna go and see what it could do. So here are some tips about how to build apps using no code. So I highly recommend that when you are thinking about your app, you want to think about your app in pieces. Okay. First, the app needs to solve a problem, whatever problem that is. Once you've written out the problem, then you want to break down your code in sections. You don't want to write the whole app out and then going back and try to troubleshoot it. That's not going to actually work. What you want to do is write out your app first and then take pieces and then have something like Deepseek or, Claude Sonnet or any of the other LLMs write out the code for you, and then run it to make sure that portion of it works. And then as you've gone through and you see parts work, add the next component, then add the next component. All right. So I hope you guys thoroughly love this. We're going to copy this code. We're going to run this here. I'm going to delete this code. Now we're back to 106 lines of code. And we're going to do this. Stop that. And then we're going to run. We just want to see if our app works. So we have our, yep, okay. The collision works. Boom, boom, good. Should be faster. It's not. Let's stop it. And then let's start it again. Okay, so the thing that we still have is the speed is not working, but we have a stop. And then we have a start. And the collision is not really that perfect because I want you to see what happens. Let's see. Boop. But you guys get the gist. This is just a app that we created. Yeah, it took us what, 20 something minutes. But again, this is using Deepseek. So you can set up Deepseek. It's kind of free for now. I did pay for some, just for some more complicated tasks that I want to write for. But again, folks, if you are creating an app and you want to, and you don't know how to code, you can use a tool like this, like DeepSeek or Sonnet or any of those tools. And, first write out the app, write out all the components of the app. And then as you're using this tool, we do it in chunks. And so if you're like, hey, John, I ain't got the time, you'd like to pay for a consultation with me for me to help you do this process, definitely email johnnylovestech@gmail.com. It will be in the description. My email will be in the description. And just send me an email. And what I'll do is I'll send you because, hey, I don't want a bunch of spam bots booking up sessions on my calendar. So once I receive an email from you and I know that you are a human, I will send you the link to my calendar. You can book an appointment with me and we could go and do this deep dive and get your app built for you using code. All right, folks, it's a 1.5 hour session. You'll see the price in the Calendly link. And so I hope that you enjoy our time together. We will have another video later on. We got a bunch of other videos that we owe you, that we will be dropping soon. So definitely, we appreciate you. We love you. Thank you for following Johnny Loves Tech. See you in the next video. Peace.